Oh, there it goes. Everybody watch out and look up. It's Keep Up with Osamalo and stillvinsane. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program with my co-hosts and comrades. I got Pokemon Stoner. I got Osamalo. I got Neil, the MP Comp Tech. He's also El Tribo. Go listen to his music. He's got a lot of really deep trance techno music. We got John of all trades. He is also one of our engineers and our moderators. Go watch his YouTube channel, Sammy and John. He goes out to the Adirondacks. He has a lot of clean food eating, a lot of hiking trails. Let's get into some motherfucking topics.
What the fuck happened?
So SCOTUS is at it again. And SCOTUS has been very busy. So for anybody out there that doesn't know what SCOTUS is, that is the Supreme Court of the United States. Just like FLOTUS, the First Lady of the United States, just like POTUS, the pussy of the United States, or pussy grabber of the United States. So I put these cases together. There was a case in Colorado a few years back. And it's okay to laugh, Oscar. You know, I can be funny every once in a while. It's all right. No, I'm joking.
That was funny.
So Colorado, they had a case where a bakery was refusing to sell cakes to a gay couple. Now, that is problematic in so many ways, just like abortion. I know that's like an extreme. But anytime you make a service very difficult for someone, it makes it very difficult. It really does. Like, they either have to go across state lines, they either have to go to another township. That is a burden that should not be. And I disagreed with that decision, by the way. Totally, especially for something like this that was going to occur. So Harry pointed out in the pre-recording that separation of church and state, it's a myth. It's a myth. All our laws are based off the Judeo-Greco-Christian laws. Fact. It should be separation of state. Of course it should. Like, no religion, it would end up like the Taliban. It would end up like the Vatican. It would end up like any religious state. And we are not a religious state. Harry is right. But technically, we're wrong, too, because Bush, all these presidents have said, God bless America, bringing the anthem, like putting your hand in the heart, saying God, putting God everywhere, pretty much, even though a lot of us come from different religious backgrounds. Some of us are agnostic. Some of us are atheists. So it makes no sense. So anyway, back to the religious right, pretty much the religious right. And obviously there are zealots and evangelicals in the Democratic Party as well. Whatever. So these religious employers basically do not want to give contraceptive products. They do not want to pay for those things for their female employees. That's wrong. So because of that cake deal, it led more rights for an employer to have their religious beliefs be in play. So that's why I say they are very similar to each other. And by the way, we got it wrong a couple of weeks ago. Actually, we left out DACA. That is the Dreamers Act. That is still in play. That is to get citizenship and amnesty for the 12 million to 11 to 12 million immigrants, undocumented immigrants, I think before 2005 or something like that. So anything after that, they've been more strict with the laws. But anything before that, where their parents literally brought them over here, they were born in this country. We are trying to find a path to citizenship for that. And of course, Trump and his administration has made it very political. Hopefully that goes through. We have me and Oscar went to and Harry too, went to a very diverse school where that affects a lot of people, a lot of people's families, a lot of people that we know live here and stuff like that. But like, imagine people that want to live with their families not being here, or like people that are going to school that have to either go back and be deported for some silly reason. This is the land of opportunity. It should be for everyone.
Yeah, and just like you said, Vince, a lot of our classmates where we grew up, where we went to school, the Renaissance School. I remember, I was obviously very fortunate to make it here at this country, legally with my father, my mom. Being able to get my green card from Honduras and
you gotta stay legally in Glendale. They'll come after your ass. Ice.
But I remember a couple of our classmates that were just so worried because when we were about to graduate, they didn't know what they were going to be able to do, if they were going to be able to go to college. And I was like, damn, something that we took for granted, that I even took for granted, they had to struggle and had to go fight for their rights. And one of our classmates, Alejandra Reese, she's big into
yes, big shout out to her. She's always been about it. Even when we were in class, she actually works at, and fuck ICE, by the way, abolish ICE. Keep going. So I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. And Alejandra Reese, she's still fighting for Hispanic rights, always doing fundraisers, whatever she has to do. So that's something that we've been able to admire from afar, just because of what she's been able to do all the way from high school, and now how she's followed it passionately.
Yeah, yeah, big shout out to her. She's an Inti, one of our my sister's classmates. She's been very intricate in that struggle and that fight. And no matter what, whether America has amplified it or magnified it, those two individuals that me and Oscar and I just mentioned, have always been about that fight. So we're literally everybody's jumping on their bandwagon, and they've been doing this for like at least 10 years. Trump's taxes. The Supreme Court deemed it illegal for the Democratic Congress to obtain their taxes, but made it necessary for the New York Supreme Court, the Southern District, to obtain his taxes. So what that basically means is that you cannot weaponize a president's taxes through politics, which I agree with. I agree that the Democrats should have got rejected on that. But should America never be able to see his taxes? Or should they never be able to prosecute a sitting president? No. So that's why it was integral. That's why it was very important for the New York State District to get that in their favor. So now they get to see his taxes. They get to make any criminal charges against him because that's not Congress's job. Congress's job is not to prosecute the president. Even though they put him through impeachment hearings and we were all for it, it was technically illegal. So that's why you got to be careful. Same thing with all these laws. Same thing when you look to change a law, especially in the Supreme Court, you should always be careful because it might bite you in the ass later. Because if it doesn't apply to everybody, or if it just applies to one person or just one group, that shouldn't be a Supreme Court case. Uh-huh. Real quick to get out of here, Seoul mayor found dead. That is the mayor in South Korea. We don't know if that's a big deal yet. Obviously, it's a big deal. It's a mayor of a major country, a major city. But there's been a lot of tension. Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il, the sister who might come into power soon. They got rid of the presence in the peninsula. There's been a lot of friction. So who knows if that mayor was murdered. I'm not trying to put rumors out there. Dictatorships, tyrants, man, they could do whatever the fuck they want. You just saw that with Roger Stone. We didn't even put that on the outline, but he got his sentence communicated. He was supposed to do a few years in prison for lying to Congress. He's a felon. Robert Mueller actually called him out and said that he still is a felon. That's just another one of Paul Manafort. You can go run by the list. Michael Flynn, all the people that Arpaio, the guy that did court contempt for the sheriff that was trying to lock up Mexicans down on the border. He went to jail and Trump pardoned him. So basically, he's not draining the swamp. He's creating more of it.
La 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 la. What the fuck did I hear? Nope.
And guys, let's open the light on that. So please lead us with Juice WRLD.
I've always liked Juice WRLD. He has a track with Eminem on Music to Be Murdered album.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
So this was a weird album to listen to just because we know that he's passed away, just like Pop's. Rest in peace to both of these young guys. But it's very weird to listen to it because the intro itself it's called Anxiety. It deals with a lot of his drug problems. And basically almost every song he goes through all his addictions. So it's hard to listen to him saying, he expects himself to die soon. He's not going to make it through another year. And little do we know, he gets out of a plane when he's on his way to Chicago and he has a seizure at the airport, is pronounced dead at the airport. I mean, at the hospital after they take him. So it's a really hard album to get through just because of everything that he's singing about, rapping about, just because he's passed away so fast, right after that. And it just goes to show you how dangerous popping pills are, drinking codeine. So it's, something that
very fun, but not a very long lifeline.
Yeah, I remember when Lil Wayne was going through his seizures and everything too. So
that guy's he's become immune to it at this point. I don't think he can survive without Osborne. Yeah, I don't think he can survive without syrup anymore, to be honest. I think it's in his bloodstream. It's Aunt Jemima type shit.
Yeah, and eventually he had to stop doing it because he would have died too. He was going through
he really did? He really stopped?
Yeah, he had to stop because he was having so many
Seizures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rick Ross. Rick Ross was going through a lot of seizures. He got off the lean too. Oh, I'm glad because you'll end up like Pimp C. Pimp C was dead for several days when they found him.
Yeah, so it's a sad thing, it's hard to listen to somebody's album when they're talking about how much drugs they're doing on a daily basis, that you're just like, wow. And then at the end of the album, he does his outro where it's basically an Instagram live where he was like, I'm gonna probably die by this year, and I'm not gonna make it till 21. And you know how a lot of celebrities have passed away at the age of 27, the famous 27 Club.
Biggie, Tupac.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they were below that.
So he's basically said, now I'm going to probably be part of the 21 Club because there's so many of the young artists that are dying because of that.
Damn. And another life law. When they do that, though, when they like predict their death, I always think of obviously Machiavelli and Tupac, but I also think of life after death. So I'm not necessarily impressed with that. Like a lot of that's like been the case. They've been biting off of that for years. I don't even like Juice WRLD. I saw him at Made in America Philly a few years ago. To me, and they both performed in the same festival. Little Uzi Vert, which I actually like. I like Little Uzi Vert. He's a big Marilyn Manson fan. He integrates that in his music a lot. I actually like Lil Yachty a little bit, but for some reason, Juice WRLD doesn't do it for me. Oh well. But August Alsina, that's the big. Oh, actually, let's hold that real quick. Casey Veggies and Rockie Fresh. Fresh Veggies is their new album. We'll be doing that every week now. Harry gave us a nice comprehensive list of album releases. I did not listen to Casey Veggies, but I am a Casey Veggies fan. I did listen to Boldy James and The Alchemist, and that is The Alchemist you're thinking of, the very famous producer, Nina Sky, Mr. Wonderful, my man, what's his name? Action Bronson, Prodigy, Mobb Deep, legend. So he did Boldy. Yeah, and Boldy James, you guys will like it if you listen. He's very good. You know what's funny? He actually, if you just put his audio on Michael, he looks like Michael if he was a rapper. Like if Michael rapped like Michael Williams, that's like I would imagine him to sound like that. I'm like, Michael, you should sound like that. Like if you sounded like that, you would be a great rapper.
That's funny.
So Lady A, Harry mentioned that a few weeks ago. Lady Antebellum, what hypocrites. They changed their name, which we thought was righteous, to Lady A. Someone else owned it. So they were just like, okay, can we co-own it? And the woman from Seattle was very gracious, and she said, yeah. And but then they wanted it for themselves, and they're suing her. She's owned the name for 20 years. And we don't think that, I don't think that's right. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I don't think that's right. So that's hilarious that this group thought that they were trying to be politically correct. But they're even more racist by trying to gain ownership of someone that already owned the name. Who the fuck do they think they are?
Yeah, that is crazy. But that's the kind of world we're living in, Vince.
Yeah. So let's get on something we could all freaking talk about. Let's get on this juiciness. We waited a little bit because we wanted to see all the facts come out of it first. We don't because to be honest, it's like it's America's favorite pastime to make rumors up about Will Smith and Jada. They let very little out about themselves. They're kind of like a lot of the couples out there, Beyonce and Jay-Z. That's why we're going to compare them real quick. So if you don't know, a long time ago, so again, everybody says that Will Smith and Jada Smith are always in an open relationship. They said they do not. They said on the show, on the Red Table, they do not participate in an open relationship. But they have been on breaks, at least one that we know of. And one of them was through August Alsina. He is someone with an autoimmune deficiency. So that's important because he was sick while they were together. He is a very famous R&B singer. He's young. He worked with Jaden Smith, their son. Very good artist as well, Sire. So while he was recuperating and while the Smiths were having marital problems, they had an entanglement. So while he was nursing him to health, I guess they decided to fuck a few times and shit like that. And supposedly August Alsina allegedly got permission from Will. That was the only discrepancy, supposedly. So in the beginning, they denied it very heavily. But the only thing they were really denying was the permission part, which Jada got all feminist on us. Was like, well, the only one that has a lock to this pussy pretty much is me. And yeah, that's cool, man. You know, ride together. That's all good, bad boys. I feel you. But what do you guys think about that?
So like you said, we've been following this for years. It's always been that rumor about the whole open marriage and everything, but it's never come out. When August Alsina actually put out a track last year, which was titled Nunya, it was
Good reference. I missed that. Good reference.
yeah, it's funny that comes out, and everybody knew who he was talking about. And you've seen footage of them on the red carpet, and you even have a picture of Queen Latifah in the background, as if she knows what's going on. Which it's really funny, And this is a conversation I had with Kim. So why are people making such a big deal? And I told her, hey, look, if it was your average Joe, nobody would care. But this is Will Smith. He's not. He's your top of the list blockbuster superstar actor. So when you saw this, I saw August's interview with Angela Yee, and I get.
I forgot to mention that too. That was a very good interview and a very famous interview.
Yeah, so I see what he's doing. He's doing his press run, and yeah, that was a big thing that he had Will Smith's permission to be with her, which is weird.
Which is weird.
Yeah,
but it's very common. It's very common, especially breaks and separations. People fuck on the side, and to be honest. People, and you've been married for a long time. I'm not saying like you should enter this, but I haven't been married forever, any time. And damn, like, how do you keep a relationship fresh after like 30 years, 20 years? Like, it's hard. So I can't dismiss like anybody's remedies to try to keep their relationship fresh. I can't judge.
Yeah. So when she did the, she said on Twitter she's gonna do some healing. We all knew she was gonna speak. I honestly thought that she was
gonna bring it to the red table talk, y'all.
Yeah, I actually thought that they were going to try to clean it up, that they weren't going to admit
really?
anything.
Oh, no, I knew she was going to admit it. I knew it.
All power to them, man. If they can sit down and Will Smith is getting a lot of shit on Twitter right now, everywhere. The memes.
Get the strap.
Memes that are coming out. I don't know if you saw the latest clip that's going viral right now, where it's Will Smith and he's doing the uncle.
The pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil? Oh, shit.
Yeah, so remember the part where he's talking about his father and he's like, I don't love you. If you don't want me, that scene right there. So they've completely dubbed that whole scene, and somebody created this where I'll do Bad Boys 4 without you. I'll do I Am Legendary. And
shit.
It's really funny, but, like I said, it's a big deal because it's a high celebrity case. And who knows if Will was doing something, because now that there's pictures.
Margot Robbie.
There's pictures coming out of him and Margot Robbie, and you just see footage when they went on their press tour for Suicide Squad, how close they were. They had that chemistry, and you could see the sexual tension that they already had.
And he's not on the new Suicide Squad. There's a scheduling difference. Jada.
Yeah, so now that all that is coming out, you're like, okay, so he's probably not allowed to work with her again. And who's going to say no to Suicide Squad 2? Margot Robbie and him were the best part of that movie, which wasn't that great.
Absolutely. It sucked. It would have sucked even more without them. But let's get out of this real quick. August Alsina, Jada, you're right. We are going to get out of it, but let's get this last part in there. Jay-Z and Beyonce, 444 and Lemonade, they monetized that was more infidelity. This one wasn't infidelity. This one was separation. When you're separate, all bets are off. You can go do whatever you need to do. Like, you need to go heal, or if you need to go satisfy, you're not with that person anymore.
As Ross, a famous line from Ross, we were on a break.
Yeah. It's true. But that's why I mentioned them, because Jay-Z got a lot of flack, which he deserved, for cheating on Beyonce. And a lot of people came to Beyonce's defense. Not many people are coming to Will's defense. A lot of people are just making fun of him. And I am too. I'm joking around. But as a friend, I wouldn't do that to him. I would be like, I'd be on his side. I'd be like, dude, like, you did what you had to do to keep your marriage together.
Exactly.
Like, what am I going to do? That's your best friend. That's your soulmate. Like, I wouldn't expect you to give up on her so quickly. Yeah, I would expect it.
If they were able to work through it and, do that table talk, because you see his pain also while he's doing this interview. And I actually like the way that they try to put humor into it. How he's there. He's like, well, now I'm going to see you through your transgressions.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, if they can get through it, why not,
They actually look better to me now. Like before, and they can divulge whatever they want about their business. They can keep whatever they want private. That's fine. But to me, it humanized them a little more, and I appreciate their brand. I love them as a couple. I love Red Table Talk. Just made me more of a fan, to be honest.
Exactly.
What the fuck did I watch?
And I watched The Politician. I'll get into that real quick so that both of my cohorts, they both watch Hollywood. They can get a little review in on that. I hope that they watch The Politician one day. If they like Hollywood, I think they would like The Politician. The Politician is about Ben Blatt. If you saw Dear Evan Hansen, two major actors are in that show. They're also the creators of Hollywood as well, Ian Brennan and Ryan Murphy. It is about a politician in California. Not a politician. He's a student in California, kind of like Rushmore, that movie. It has that same vibe. He is going cutthroat to become a president, to get into Harvard, anything. He will do anything to be class president. And he like pretty much embodies like a real presidential campaign. Like that's how serious it is. Gwyneth Paltrow's in it. The new season, the second season, and the season finale has Bette Midler and Judith Light. If you ever saw Who's the Boss, if you ever saw Transparent, Judith Light is amazing. So is obviously Bette Midler. She is the campaign manager of Judith Light. She is the senator of New York. So it's very good. It's very good. You should watch that. Tell us why we should watch Hollywood, guys. And the only reason why we're versing them together, we're good at verses, guys. We're trying to make that more a part of the show. We want to start comparing different shows, too, in different mediums, kind of like Celebrity Deathmatch. Go ahead. Tell us about Hollywood, Oscar and Harry.
So the first thing I notice is any show that'll start with a star-studded lineup, I love. I'm a big fan of not even just high celebrities, but just, people that we've known. Like Hollywood has Jim Parsons. I had no idea Jim Parsons was even in this show, and his role is incredible.
I hated him.
Really? Oh, nice.
No. I feel like as a villain, I hated the him. I hated the character, and I feel like that was a good thing.
Jim Parsons, who's that?
Jim Parsons was in Big Bang Theory.
Mm-hmm.
He's an amazing actor. Oh my God, he killed it.
He did, and I hated the character so much. I really did.
Why,
he made me hit that manager.
That's good.
I was like, yo.
Sheldon from The Big Bang.
Yeah. So for everybody that doesn't know, Hollywood is based upon I believe it's right after World War II timepiece, and that's another thing. I love timepieces when you can give me that time. That time that we can see it through the cars, we can see it through the clothing. I love that. This is a bunch of young Hollywood actors trying to make it in the showbiz, and you get to see what they have to go through. You also have Dylan McDermott, who plays a gas station clerk, and he runs a prostitution gas station, which
he's in The Politician also, by the way. He's in The Politician too.
That's even pretty cool. This show is very important, especially in this time, I believe, because as you're watching it, you also get to see African Americans, and you also get to see a Jewish writer. I'm struggling, and he's also Asian, I believe.
I don't know if he's Jewish, but he's part Filipino. He's part Filipino.
Okay, so
he's the director,
and that's actually his ethnicity in real life too.
Oh, wow.
The guy from the Versace show and the Glee.
So, you get to see their struggle and what they had to deal with, especially this black actress she plays Camille Washington.
That's Laura Harrier. Yeah, Laura, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Laura Harrier from SpiderMan Homecoming. And she does an incredible job, and I'm glad that she was able to get away from that Spider-Man persona that she did in that movie, because it's more of a grown-up role, and it just goes to show you how good of an actress she is.
I actually don't remember for that movie. I remember her in Black Klansman.
Oh, yes, she was in
She was the love interest, and she's so hot. Her character is based off of, by the way, Oscar didn't say this yet, but it is an alternate reality. I did not realize that at first. I thought it was a straight up period piece. I thought because it had Rock Hudson that it was going to be more based on real life. It was not at all. So if you're looking for this to be like Mad Men, or actually it is like Mad Men, they are taking a real decade and they are rewriting what happened pretty much. Yeah. So you see, the movie Peg is a real movie in real life, but they changed it to Meg to to have a black actress like Lena Horne and Dorothy Dandridge, the one that Laura Harriet plays, Camilla Washington. And basically all these things that never happened in history are basically happening, and they're rewriting it in this show. And that's what makes it so cool. It makes it so cool, the pioneering. Even though it didn't happen that early in history, it's like, what if? It's like Man in the High Castle. It's like, what if these iconic moments in history happened earlier?
Yeah, and that's what we know. That's why, to be honest with you, when I watch the show, it really does make you feel like, holy shit, man, this is incredible. Because even though we know it didn't happen in this way, what if it had happened that way? What if a major studio had put a black actress on the screen, and with all, who cares? I understand with the flag of the South, but it does really show you how bad racism was back then, especially, not that we're not going through a racist period right now. Racism will always exist. But when you get to see it on that scale, the South boycotting movies just because, what they didn't want. They didn't want black actors. They didn't want black writers. So it's very important that everybody gets to see the struggle that took place during all these times. And it's just very unfortunate, but it's a show that really does touch you, just because you get to see, like, this isn't fair what these people had to go through. And another thing that they also show is the KKK, and it's incredible when you see how the KKK would burn fucking crosses on people's lawns. It's a scary ass fucking thing.
So shout out to Samara Weaving from Ready or Not. She's also in it. She's the daughter of Rob Reiner, Ace Studios. Just a lot of great. Mira Sorvino's in it. Yeah. Dylan McDermott, like you said. I don't know who plays Archie, but he's a phenomenal actor. Who's the actor that plays the main guy that's in the... by the way, they run a prostitution ring at the gas station. Who is that guy? Who looks like Superman?
Oh, David Cornsweet? I can't pronounce his name.
Well, I mean, in Kansas, that guy needs to play fucking Superman one day because he looks just like him, and he's also a politician, by the way.
Yeah, and he's he's a young up and coming Hollywood actor, and he's got to do whatever he has to do because he has a couple kids coming on the way.
Oh, and Judd Apatow's daughter's in it too, Maud Apatow.
Yep. And we also got Queen Latifah in it, which I had no idea.
Hattie McDaniel's, God in the Wind.
Yep. So this is it's an incredible cast. I like it. I'm not finished with it. I'm up to the last 2 episodes.
Oh, you'll like it. It's a good ending.
So
unlike The Affair, which we don't have to talk about, that shit sucked. Don't ever watch The Affair, guys. It's one of the worst shows of all time.
Especially the last season.
Oh my god, it was getting good too, and then they fucking fucked me up. Anyway, real quick, because Harry tells us we gotta go. Crashing, since I was the only one to watch these shows, Pete Holmes is a comedian. Judd Apatow directs the show. I compare that to the Crashing show. That was on HBO, like I said. Phoebe Waller-Bridges also created a show that is only 6 episodes on Netflix, very short. It is about these young 20-something-year-old that live in a hospital in England. And in England and in Europe, you're allowed to occupy those spaces if they're like kind of abandoned until you have to move out. So with that, like I said, she's the creator of Run. She's the creator of Killing Eve. She's the creator of Fleabag. So this is what got her jump start. Very good shows. Compare them if you want. That's fine. And then the last comparison is Avenue 5. I only watched a couple of episodes of each one. Avenue 5 is a cruise ship in space. It stars Hugh Laurie from House and a lot of other actors and actresses. Very good ensemble cast. Same thing with Spaceforce, starring my man Steve Carell and John Malkovich. That one is not what you think. It's the military trying to end up in space. They're not literally in space like Avenue 5. So, B&A, tell us real quick.
B&A is a new anime out on Netflix. It's about these people between humans and beastmen. Beastmen are basically humanoid animals who can like be an animal or they can change into human. I don't get the whole thing.
Animorph. Oh, like Animorphs. They're actually rebooting that.
Not like Animorphs. It's totally different.
Oh, okay.
But so basically this one girl who is a human ends up turning into a Tanuki beastman overnight, and then she just ventures off into this plot of land because humans and beastmen don't like each other. Which I would love beastmen. They're pretty dope, but they don't like each other. So there's a whole island, and then there's a whole bunch of like conspiracy theories on like a whole bunch of shit happening on there. It's pretty dope. Yeah.
Sounds very underworldish and a little True Blood. Sounds like a lot of elements in it. I like that. That's really cool. I need to get into more anime, actually, guys. You guys need to make sure I do.
I got Crunchyroll, so
I know I have it too. I have it on HBO Max. I have it so I need to get into it. People have been trying to get me on Castlevania, Naruto, Naruto, Last Airbender. There's another one that everybody's been trying to get me on.
One Piece.
One Piece, Cowboy
Bebop.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. I'm slacking so hard. Brotherhood. I'm gonna get
Brotherhood.
I will, guys. Don't you worry. By the end of 2020, Dragon Ball Z will not be the only fucking anime that I've seen. I'm so ashamed.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What's up?
Okay, so just to cover up one more anime show, Attack on Titan. My nephew put me on this.
Nice. Go, Josh.
It's incredible artwork, and it's basically a city that's protected. But when you finally get to see what the hell it's protecting, it's these giant naked people. They're not monsters, but
Titans.
they're creepy as hell. They have a big ass smile on their face, which is very reminiscent to the Joker. But it's
I think I've seen a commercial about that.
It's just very graphic, and I that was like one of the first anime shows after Dragon Ball Z that I got into. So I was not expecting to see any of that violence, cartoon drawn like that. But it's a great show, and if you enjoy that type of artwork, you're gonna love that.
All right, I do.
What the fuck did I play?
And let's get into WB, Warner Brothers Studios Interactive. They are owned by AT&T for now. And big news, because they're actually selling off their assets for NetherRealm, which owns Mortal Kombat, Injustice, very successful franchises. Before it was owned by Acclaim and Midway, and that was Ed Boon and Tobias. They both still own the franchise, so I'm very interested to see how that goes. The reason why we're very interested, we're all PlayStation fans over here. The reason why, by the way, SpiderMan, whoever wants to equalize that, by the way, SpiderMan is owned by Sony. It's been owned by Sony for at least 2 decades. So that's not so anybody that wants to be like, well, PlayStation has Spider-Man, well, then go buy the movie rights. Go buy all the rights to the Batman then. You can't. You're not going to be able to get that license. You're only going to get the license for the video games. So you're basically just blocking PlayStation from playing that game. So let's get into that. Who do you want to buy? I'm assuming you don't want Microsoft to buy, because then that would lead them to make it into an Xbox exclusive. What publisher would you like to see buy NetherRealm and how did I forget the studio? WB Interactive.
Yeah, so I've been a big fan of these games since they came out, Vince. They've tried to always do these Batman games in the past, and it's never worked. So when we got the first Arkham game, it was a fucking masterpiece. They put Batman in his element, sort of like the detective, where you had to do certain things and levels, use the Batarang. But I do want this game. First, I don't want it in the hands of Xbox and Microsoft, because we'll be screwed right away. I'm not buying an Xbox just to play fucking Batman, as much as I love it. Just not going to happen.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I will miss out on that series.
I'll fucking borrow somebody's Xbox.
Watch the cutscenes online.
Right.
Yeah. But
if they do that, though, they'll probably put it on, because that's too much money being missed out on PlayStation. They'll probably bring it like Tomb Raider. They'll probably bring it out on Xbox first, and then like towards the end of the year, give it to PlayStation.
So the biggest also reason why they're looking to sell it is because AT&T right now they have $154 billion worth of debt. So as you know,
the billion or the million? I think it's million.
Billion.
Oh, it's billion? Damn! Wow. Yeah, good job, Oscar.
So they're actually saying, maybe they should sell off other assets that are not as important, like DirecTV. They have a big partnership with DirecTV. So, hey, look, I have DirecTV. That shit doesn't cost a lot compared to the other cable providers that are out there. And it's funny because a lot of people right now they're actually getting rid of cable. A lot more people are subscribing to a lot of people are subscribing to Hulu TV, YouTube TV, but also these things are going up in price. YouTube TV just went up to $70 now a month.
Keep the video games.
So I would love for this game to stay and this company to stay somewhere where it's neutral. That way Xbox fans can enjoy it. And then us, obviously, PlayStation fans could also enjoy it.
Nice. And real quick, because we're running out of time, video game pricing, if you haven't seen, they're going to go up. Developers have been asking for this for years because so there's a cost effective to this. And I'm for it, by the way. I'm for the games being up to $70 at least because we're getting really good games. Like, especially the last 5 years, it's been like the golden era of games pretty much. Pretty much the top 10 games that have come out like the last 7 years at least. So we're getting really top quality development in games. And these companies have hundreds, if not thousands of developers now that they have to pay. So the way that they made up for it, obviously they have to make up for it. They can't just come out of money out of nowhere. It's been micro transactions. And everybody complains about that every year. They're like, oh, all these microtransactions, the DLC. But then they complain about a price up on the games. You got to make a decision. Either the game has to be expensive or they have to make up for it for the DLC content. How do you guys feel about that? And then, so we can wrap up, tell me your favorite Arkham game.
So I actually don't mind the prices either. We're getting great quality games, and if you're going to give me a game that I can enjoy with DLC, obviously we have to buy certain DLCs. But I don't mind DLCs. If the game was already a certain price, if I can get more extra gameplay out of that game, I'm all for that.
Nice. Harry, how do you feel about that? Do you like microtransactions or do you want the game to be more expensive?
For me, it just means I'm gonna buy less games. Like I used to buy 2 Pokemon games. Now there's $60. I'm not spending $120 on 2 games. So just means I'm buy less.
Okay, well but they have gotten better. Like, why wouldn't you pay for? Way better. Yeah.
And I don't buy all these games. I buy the games I like.
True. Okay, well, you're gonna be missing out just for price, I guess, but it's okay. All right, so real quick before we go, what's your favorite Arkham game?
Arkham Knight.
Yep.
Arkham Knight. With a good one.
Arkham Knight.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go with the crowd. Arkham Knight. That is a really good one. Is that the one where they got the Batmobile in there?
Yes. And that's exactly why.
Good choice, fellas.
Where you kill people.
I love it. And I can't wait for them to jumpstart Rocksteady, all that. That was such a great franchise that led to the Spider-Man series being so good too. You got to give props to both.
What's your profanity?
What the fuck did I say?
Really, nigga?
And no offense, but that's our title. And this week's title is spelled no offense, like fence. To be honest, that is how the British spell it. That's why we made it that way. So we're corny like that. We're trying to get a fence in there, maybe a little, who knows, a lamb, who knows? I don't know. Oscar's the visionary. He's the artwork guy. And by the way, he did an excellent job with the Pigs Fly. We got that into the graphic for the YouTube video. Thank you so much, everybody that subscribed. We have gone up with subscribers tremendously. We've gone up with views tremendously. Keep that going. I hope our hosts and everybody involved keeps pushing our content. We're making really good content, guys. Each episode is getting better. A lot of our fans are saying so. So keep doing that. So no offense, but, give us a time check, Oscar, to Harry. No offense, but is based on my man, DeSean Jackson. And DeSean Jackson on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is his second tenure on the team. Very explosive player, one of the best wide receivers to go over 50 yards, one of the fastest receivers. Not very smart, though. Wouldn't bring him on Jeopardy, wouldn't bring him to the Amazing Race. He's very ignorant. And he is the ass of the week, pretty much. I know that's my man, C the God. He loves to do that. But the ass of the week is definitely DeSean Jackson for anti-Semitism, repeating it. So I would like to say something. I would like to apologize to people. There's times I've quoted Louis Farrakhan, and there's times where I've shared some of his content because I agree with a lot of his black advocacy. I believe his views on trying to uplift the black community. But he's very anti-Semitic, and he's very homophobic, and he's very sexist. And I always try to discount. I never looked at it as a whole. And so I'm just I got to be rid of him. So from now on, I'm done with Louis Farrakhan. I am not done with DeSean Jackson. DeSean Jackson, I feel Louis Farrakhan is calculated. That guy has been a scholar for a very long time. His beliefs are entrenched, and that's cool. And he disseminates it to other people that believe in him. DeSean Jackson is not a public speaker. He's a football player. He's an athlete. The guy is, I'm not saying he's dumb, but he was definitely dumb enough to quote something that quoted Hitler.
Yeah.
And so go ahead. Sorry.
It was just a very, it's a very ignorant statement that he put out, and I'm glad, right? He noticed right away what he said was wrong, and he fixed
Was.
it. Because you just got to be careful with what you're going to say, especially right now in today's age. I believe one movement is not bigger than the other, or what's going on with certain things around the country are equating to certain things. And I don't want anything to be drowned out because one group believes, hey, what about us? No,
Yeah.
it should be, we should all come together and educate ourselves. Just like Julian Edelman says, he wants to take them to the Holocaust Museum. I don't know about you, Vince, but I've been to the Holocaust Museum in the past couple of years when I went to DC, and it was one of the most amazing things to see because we all know about what happened, but to be able to witness that in a museum, it's very hard. It just touches you in a different way, what the Jews went through during that time, and especially in those countries where these things were going on.
Yeah, no, and I love my cousins. I love. We have some Jews in the family. We have Harry. He went to Hebrew school. That was really cool.
Israel too.
He did. He got
I went
sick
to
in
the
Israel.
Holocaust Museum. I did. I had the shits. I went to the Holocaust Museum in Israel. That
Yeah,
shit
you did.
was crazy. It's huge. It is beautifully designed. It's like you learn a bunch of shit. They have pictures of people who were there. Like they took all that shit. They have names engraved. It's an amazing experience. If you're going to anywhere, Israel is the place to go, especially Tel Aviv.
Well, at least he didn't shit on Johnny Depp's bed. That's important. That's always key. So with DeSean Jackson, I would like to say for the show that I guess all three of us condemn him, of course. I do condemn him. He definitely is wrong. But I feel like the punishment is egregious. The guy apologized twice. He deleted the comment. DeSean Jackson came to his defense. Usma, I forgot his name. He's somebody I have to drop too because he's very homophobic and very sexist as well, even though he has very good black points and black advocacy points. We're done with that. No more of that. I have to stop doing that. I got to stop being like, oh, great, he's great for the black community. If he's not for the whole community, the whole U.S. community, what's the point? We're not at that level where we just have to just totally concentrate. But where I do feel that, like you were saying, the Jewish fan base of the NFL, I feel like overreacted. And I know I'm probably the minority over that, but that's fine. That's okay. And shout out to Justin Reese. He is one of my former camp kids when I was a camp counselor. This is to you, actually. I love you, bro. You're a very intelligent person. But to equate the BLM movement and anti-Semitism, in my mind, are both prejudiced, but one is racial. Ethno-religion is not a race. That's arguable, obviously. That's debatable. A lot of people will come against me for that. That's fine. But not that many people in America, in particular, not in Arabia, not in Germany, past Germany, not during the Holocaust, of course. Atrocities never should have happened. We believe that it happened. We need to do our best to fight anti-Semitism so nothing like that could ever even come close to happening again. But you got to be consistent. And the NFL did not come down hard on Riley Cooper for saying, get those niggers, when he was behind a fence at a Kenny Chesney concert. On the same team that is owned by two Jewish members. Howie, could somebody get his name, please? Howie Roseman, I believe. And then the other guy, the GM, they're both Jewish, and they both are working on a Hitler documentary. Totally fine. We all need to know more about the atrocities of the Holocaust. I never want that to end. I never want us to forget about 9/11. I never want us to forget about Pearl Harbor. I never want us to forget about Oklahoma City. I don't want to ever forget about Tulsa. These are all ingrained in us in fabric. But I feel like you're bringing down the BLM movement by doing that. You mentioned Julian Edelman before. Did he even kneel for Colin Kaepernick? No. He's not responsible for everybody's plight. If you want to get down with the movement, yes. The only thing that I ask of people that are not down with the movement is to shut the fuck up. Like, if you're not about it, that's cool. Move on. But don't try to douse it. Oh, well, this movement, like BLM. What about black on black crime? What about the Jews? What about black trans? Okay, cool. But why is it always, why are we always taking a line? Why are we always creating division just to get social justice? Please touch on that, guys.
And yeah, no, Vince, I totally agree with you. I think it's just a time where we're living in where everybody should be careful with what they say. But we've actually been more political in our podcast, and I actually like it because we have to touch up on the world. And you know what? With that, we should wrap it up, and we'll keep going with every episode, and we'll keep touching on everything that's going on.
Oscar's like, this is too hot topic for me. I do not want to offend any Jewish people out there. Only Vince.
I'm a Jew, so I approve.
Good. I'm glad I have a Jew by my side. We're a little biased because we're on the same team and we're in the same family, but no, I appreciate you guys. If you have nothing to say towards that, we could definitely wrap up. Try to keep up to our time limits and Zoom, because Zoom is free for us for now. You guys have anything to say?
No.
All good. All good. You guys did a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for promoting the show, guys. The team, keep up. You guys have, like I said, Harry's on the squad. Uncle Harry. Pokemon Stoner is his new Instagram handle. He's a producer of the show. So is Oscar. Oscar is a producer of the show. He's also art director. Please get us on Twitter, Keep Up NY. We are on Twitch, Keep Up NYC. We have an Instagram, which is gaining followership. We're at 800. Please get us to 1,000. I don't care about 900. I'm already looking towards 1,000. We need to get to 10,000 subscribers so we can actually activate a bunch of features on Instagram. Help us get there, guys. Also, keep subscribing to YouTube, please. We're over 50 subscribers. Not a lot, obviously, but it's a lot more than we started with. So we really appreciate that. Keep watching our show. Then we also have Patreon, the Keep Up Podcast. Facebook is Keep Up Shut Up. That is our official Facebook fan page group. If you want to follow stillvinsane, that's cool too, but it's more important to follow Keep Up so you can get all of our podcast news and whenever things debut and all our beautiful artwork that Oscar, like I said, is doing a phenomenal job doing. Then we have, again, my IG is stillvinsane. Harry's IG is Pokemon Stoner, PKMN. Then we have Oscar, which is Oslamalo. And then he has Osamalo _artwork, which you can go catch his artwork. And then we have John, that is Thundercat.ttv. He is on Twitch. He is our flagship person on Twitch. He hasn't really been live streaming that much lately. But like I said, you can catch his YouTube videos about hiking and clean eating with his girlfriend, Sammy Rosenbaum. That's all I got to say, guys. So let's get into our motherfucking outro. You better shut the fuck up.
Listen up.
And keep up.
With Oslamalo.
And stillvinsane. Over and out, homies.